Good evening, everyone. Welcome to iQuanta. Please confirm the audio if you can hear me. Audible? Okay. Okay, good. So, this is a continuation class of previous quant session. Okay, and today we are going to learn about rest part of arithmetics and little bit of numbers, and we are going to discuss few interesting questions and some tricks, some good tricks to solve those questions. So, what I am going to do today is I am going to discuss a little bit of concept first, not all the concept. It's not possible to do all the concept in one class. So, we are going to discuss a little bit basic concept and after that we are going to solve questions on that particular topic. So, we are going to start with simple interest and compound interest. In the last class, you learned about percentage, profit loss and average mixture allegation, and today we are going to learn about what? Simple interest and compound interest. So, let's continue with that. So, what do we know in simple interest and compound interest? That in case of simple interest is equal to P into R into T upon 100, where P is the principal, R is the rate of interest per annum and T is the time. Okay. So, apart from that, what is SI? SI is simple interest. And if we talk about amount A is equal to P plus simple interest. Okay. You can also write amount is equal to P into 1 plus RT upon 100. This is also the way that you can write amount in terms of simple interest and principal. Okay. Now, next if we talk about compound interest. So, in case of compound interest, how do we find amount? So, amount is equal to principal into 1 plus R by 100 to the power N, where N is number of years or number of sessions. Okay, number of years and number of sessions. Now, apart from this, if you want to find the compound interest will be equal to amount minus principal. Apart from this, there is a difference in compound interest and simple interest. If we talk about difference, compound interest for 2 years minus simple interest for 2 years, this is equal to P into R by 100 square. और हमें पता है कि फर्स्ट ईयर के लिए कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट और सिंपल इंटरेस्ट क्या होता है? सेम होता है. फॉर फर्स्ट ईयर कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट एंड सिंपल इंटरेस्ट इज सेम. So, we can also say that compound interest for second year, okay, compound interest for second year minus simple interest for second year is equal to same thing, which is this one, P into R by 100 whole square. Is the same thing. Both of these are same thing because the simple interest and compound interest had no difference in first year. Okay. Now, next, if we talk about 3 years, so compound interest for 3 years minus simple interest for 3 years, this is equal to PR by 100 whole square into 3 plus R by 100. Now, apart from this, there is a very important concept regarding simple interest and compound interest, okay, which is compound interest for n plus 1th year divided by compound interest for nth year. This will give you 1 plus R by 100. Now, this is very important. This could save you lots of calculation and time to find the rate of interest whenever compound interest for 2 consecutive years is given. Okay, whenever compound interest for 2 consecutive years are given, you can find out the rate of interest using this concept. Okay, so I hope all of you who are preparing for CAT this year, okay, must be aware of all these. If you are not aware of these, you can note it down. Okay. Yes, Srishti, this is known as multiplication factor. Now, let's start with the question. Let's start with the question where we are going to use all this. And I have added some really good question. Okay. Shall we start with first question? Are you guys ready? Yes? Okay. Sure. So let's try our first question, which is this one. Let's see how many of you get this correct. Okay, that was difference for 3 years of compound interest and 3 years of simple interest. Okay, so yes, D is the correct answer. Very good. It says if the principal at the beginning of the 6th year on a certain sum at the rate of certain interest compounded annually 10% more than the beginning of the 5th year. So we know that compound interest of 6th year, okay, is 10% more than compound interest for 5th year, right? Compound interest for 5th year. So basically what we can say here is every year the compound interest will increase by 10%. Now question is regarding by what percent does the compound interest for the 8th year exceed the compound interest for the 5th year. So 5th year, 6th year, 7th year and 8th year. Now the compound interest for 6th year will be 10% more than the 5th year, and similarly compound interest for 7th year will be 10% more than the 6th year, and compound interest for 8th year will be 10% more than the compound interest of 7th year. So overall, if you want to find from here to here, if you want to find this value, you will have to take successive of these 10, 3 10. So what is the successive of 2 10s? Successive of 2 10 is 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 upon 100, which is equal to 21%. Now we will take 21 and 10, successive of 21 and 10, which is 21 plus 10 plus 21 into 10 upon 100. So this is equal to 33.1%. So that's our answer. Answer is D. You can also check this here, that as the multiplication factor, as the value is increasing by 10% every year, the multiplication factor will be 1.1 in each case. Value is increasing by 10%, so the multiplication factor will be 1.1. So overall multiplication factor from 5th year to 8th year will be 1.1 cube. This will be the multiplication factor, which is nothing but 1.331. So 0.331. If you want to convert it into percentage, you will have to multiply it by 100, and that becomes 33.1%. You can directly use this approach also. So if you know what is the perfect cube, what is the cube of 11, then you can solve this very easily. You don't have to use the successive 2 times, right? So this question can be solved in multiple ways, as you can see, and this concept is very helpful while solving compound interest problem. This could save you lots of time. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, guys. Devolina, it doesn't say principal. Okay. Okay, principal is same thing. See, principal is 1.1 times. So basically the interest for the next year is also 1.1 times. It's the same thing. Ritik, 1.1 is the multiplication factor for 10% increase. Okay. 10% increase. That's why. Ranging for 10% increase, the multiplication factor is 1.1. So there will be 3 times 1.1. 1.1 into 1.1 into 1.1. So the compound interest for 8th year will be 1.331 times for the compound interest of 5th year. So the difference is 0.331, which is nothing but 33.1%. Okay. Sure. Let's try the next question now. Now this is a very good question. Let's try this one. Lakshya, multiplication factor is 1 plus r%. Okay, 1 plus r%. So 1 plus 10% is 1.1. If rate of interest is 20%, it will become 1.2. If rate of interest is 30%, then it will become 1.3. Okay. Ayush, you know the formula. You can try solving that by formula, but that is not required. That would be very lengthy. Using that formula only we have derived that concept. Okay, so you can directly use that one. Prajita, don't try to like set a benchmark for yourself. Don't try to take a certain number of questions to solve during mocks. You must be trying that you want to solve 12 questions, 10 questions, 15 questions during mocks, and you are going with that pace that is hurting your efficiency and the flow. So try to go with the actual flow, the natural flow. Okay, the pace that you can maintain yourself should not be affected by number of questions that you have targeted before mocks. Okay, so just try to scan all the 22 questions. Okay, choose the easier ones, solve them first. You will see that you can easily solve 5-6 questions in first scan, and then later you can increase it as per time is remaining. So in this question, answer is A. Yes, correct, very good. Now, how do we solve this? It says two sums of 5,000 each are invested, one at R% simple interest and other at R% compound interest. If at the end of 2 years, the total of the two sums amount to 14,200, what is the ratio of simple interest occurred on the first sum and the compound interest occurred on the second sum at the end of the 3 years? So basically what we can say here, that 5,000, using 5,000 and simple interest for 2 years, it will be 5,000 2R by 100, and for compound interest it will be 5,000 into 1 plus R by 100 square. This is equal to 14200, right? This is how you have solved, right? This is how, or is there any other way you have tried this? This is what we have used, right? Or anything else, any other method, guys? You can find out the value of R from here, right? You can very easily find out the value of R from here. Right? So if you solve this, you can get the value of R from here very easily, very easily. There won't be much struggle, but there will be a little calculation. But you can use other method also. What's that method? Is if we talk about 2 years, R% simple interest for 1 year. So for 2 year compound interest, simple interest will be 2R%. Can we say this? Simple interest will be 2R%. Rimjim, because of 2 years. 2 years. It says 2 years. Okay. So 2R% simple interest, overall simple interest, and the compound interest will be successive of R and R. So this will be R plus R square upon 100. This will be total percentage interest received on those sum, right? Received on that sum, which is nothing but 5,000. And this should be equal to, what is the total interest that has been achieved here? 4,200 interest out of 5,000 rupees total into 100. This is nothing but 84%. So this should be equal to 84. This should be equal to 84. Now you can solve this now very easily. This will be equal to 4R plus R square upon 100 is equal to 84, or 400R plus R square is equal to 8400, or you can bring this side. This will be 400R plus R square plus 8400. This will be minus 8400. Minus 8400. This should be equal to 0. Or we can break this such that product is 8400. We can break this as 420R minus 20R minus 8400 is equal to 0. or this will be equal to r plus 420 into r minus 20 is equal to 0. So from here we get r is equal to 20%. So this is our rate of interest. This is our rate of interest. Now, after that, okay, no, 5,000 simple interest, we have taken these interest individually. 5,000 इंटरेस्ट, 5,000 पे कितना सिंपल इंटरेस्ट मिल रहा है 2%. 5,000 पे कितना कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट मिल रहा है this much. So principal will be, in this case we will take 5,000. Overall interest, what is overall? Okay, so we are taking simple interest, and this simple interest was on 5,000, this compound interest was on 5,000. So overall 84% we are getting on 5,000. Okay, not what, not 10,000. So this r is 20%. Now it says what is the ratio of simple interest occurred for the first sum and the compound interest occurred for the on the second sum at the end of third year. So after 3 years. After 3 years. What will be the simple interest? Okay, it says what is the ratio of simple interest? Simple interest will be equal to 60% and compound interest will be equal to what? So successive of 20, 20, 20, which is 72.8%. This will be the ratio. Now we need to find the ratio. So ratio will be equal to 60 upon 72.8. Remove the decimal. Now this will be equal to 75 into 8, and this is 91 into 8. So our ratio is 75 upon 91. That's your answer. That's how A is the answer. Yes, we have considered, as I said, this is percentage of interest as per 5,000. This is also percentage of interest as per 5,000. So this is total interest on 5,000 guys, not on 10,000. Is this clear? ये simple interest है. This is simple interest. Okay, this one is simple interest. This one is compound interest for 2 years. On what? On 5,000. This is on 5,000. This is also on 5,000. I know total principal is 10,000, but we are taking them individually. This is 5,000. This is also based on 5,000. So overall interest received on 5,000. That's how we have taken 84%. Okay. So you can avoid doing this. You can avoid doing this because this will be a little calculative, and at the end you will have to solve this equation. If you solve this, at the end you will have to solve this equation. So why not avoid this? Okay. 72.8 कैसे शिवम? 20% है ना rate of interest. 20%, 20% and 20%. If you take the successive of this, this will become 72.8%. Multiplication factor क्या होगा? 1.2 ना? 1.2 will be the multiplication factor. 1.2 whole cube is 1.728. So जो 1 रुपया है वो बन जाएगा कितना? 1.728 rupees. So the increase of 72.8%. Yes, 84 is coming from here. The total interest, if we check, 4,200, total principal is 10,000, 5,000 plus 5,000. But we are calculating this on individual 5,000 principal. That's how. Okay. We are taking rate of interest on individually on 5,000. That's how it's 84%. Total principal is 10,000. I know. But this is the total interest received, 4,200. Got this? Ayush r स्क्वायर बाय 100 व्हाट इज, देखो अगर 10% कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट है तो 2 साल के लिए कितना परसेंट हो जाएगा वो 21%। कैसे, 10 और 10 का सक्सेसिव 21 होता है, 10 प्लस 10 प्लस 10 इंटू 10 अपॉन 100। इफ कंपाउंड रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज 20%, what will be the overall effective rate of interest after 2 years? It will be 44%. How do you get that? Successive of 20 and 20 is 44. That's how we get that. Okay? अभिषेक वही बता रहा था मैं कि ये इफेक्टिव रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, दिस इज इफेक्टिव रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आफ्टर 2 years. Whenever you are using compound interest, you can simply use this. जैसे मैं बताता हूं एक बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट, चलो 5000 प्रिंसिपल इज 5000, रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज 20%. ओके, कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट हमें निकालना है, टाइम इज इक्वल टू 2 years. हाउ डू यू सॉल्व दिस? You can solve this by finding amount is equal to 5000 into 1 plus 20 by 100 upon 2 to the power 2. So this will be equal to 7200. But then you can find compound interest. Then you can find the compound interest here, which is equal to 7200 minus 5000, which is equal to 2200. But what do I suggest my students to use compound interest is, compound interest is nothing but if rate of interest is 20%, means the principal is getting 20% more every year. So for the first year rate of interest is 20%, for the second year rate of interest is 20%. So after 2 years total interest will be successive of these two, 20 plus 20 plus 20 into 20 upon 100, which is equal to 44%. So the total compound interest you can find out 44% of 5000, which will be equal to 2200. So you don't need to calculate this part, you don't need to calculate amount and then calculate the compound interest. You can directly calculate the compound interest. So if it is r% and r%, so successive will be the effective rate of interest after 2 years will be r plus r into r upon 100. That's what we have used. Ayushman, 5000 was invested 2 places. So total amount was 14,200. So total investment was 10,000. So the interest received was 4,200. Okay. Okay, clear? I hope that r plus r square by 100 is clear to everyone. Let's move on to the next question, guys. Now this is a very good one. This is a good one. Try this one. मैं कह रहा था कि सिंपल इंटरेस्ट हमने किस पे कैलकुलेट किया है 5000 पे, कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट हमने किस पे कैलकुलेट किया है 5000 पे। सो जो 40% सिंपल इंटरेस्ट है इफेक्टिवली, 44% कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट है इफेक्टिवली, तो टोटल 84% हमें मिला है कितने पे 5000 पे ना। ये सोच के देखो वहां 10,000 नहीं है, तो हमने ओवरऑल इंटरेस्ट निकाला है एक अमाउंट, एक प्रिंसिपल पे 5000 पे, ठीक है। $80,000. Yes, 80,000 is correct answer. So in this question, it says on a certain sum where interest is being calculated annually, the difference between compound interest and simple interest for the second year is 1800. And the same for the third year, and third year is 3870. So we know that compound interest for second year minus simple interest for second year is equal to nothing but PR by 100 whole square, and this is equal to 1800 given, right? Now we also know that compound interest for third year minus simple interest for third year is equal to 3870. But we don't have a formula, we don't have a direct concept for this. So can we find out, can you tell me what will be the compound interest for 3 years, total 3 years, minus simple interest for 3 years? What will be this value? Can you tell me? For first year, remember, for first year the difference between compound interest and simple interest is 0. For the second year the difference is this. For the third year the difference is this. What will be the difference for the all 3 years compound interest and simple interest? So for the first year difference is 0. For the second year difference is 1800. For the third year difference is 3870. So this will be equal to 5670, right? And we know that this value is nothing but PR by 100 whole square 3 plus R by 100. This is the concept. Now this is our first equation, this is our second equation. Now you can divide equation 2 by equation 1. So what do we get? If you divide this by this, you get 3 plus R by 100 is equal to 5670 divided by 1800, which is equal to 3.15, or we can say R by 100 is equal to 0.15, or we can say R is equal to 15%, right? R is equal to 15%. You can put that value here, okay, or here you can put that value. So it will be R percent. So P into 15 by 100 into 15 by 100 is equal to 1800, right? So now we can cancel this out. This is 6 times, this is 5 into 3, 5 into 3, 2 into 3. From there we get P is equal to, this is 20 times, this is 20 times. P is equal to 80,000 rupees. Okay? No, it's not muted. Guys, audio is fine from this side. Guys, can you hear me? Kaiser is saying not audible. आयुष्मान सेकेंड ईयर का जो डिफरेंस है कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट एंड सिंपल इंटरेस्ट में, वो डिफरेंस गिवन है. जो थर्ड ईयर का डिफरेंस है वो गिवन है. दोनों को ऐड करके हम नहीं कह सकते. फर्स्ट ईयर का डिफरेंस तो जीरो होगा. सो दोनों को ऐड करके हम नहीं कह सकते कि टोटल 3 इयर्स का डिफरेंस क्या होगा. जो फर्स्ट ईयर में डिफरेंस है वो जीरो है, जो सेकेंड ईयर में डिफरेंस है वो 1800 है, जो थर्ड ईयर में डिफरेंस है वो 3870 है. So if you add all these three, what do we get? We get the difference for all 3 years, right? That's why we have added. Now ये क्वेश्चन एक और तरीके से सॉल्व हो सकता है, बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से. वो देखो कैसे. जैसे अगर हम ले 10,000 रुपीज, ठीक है, प्रिंसिपल इज 10,000 रुपीज, रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज लेट्स से 10%. ओके, so if you calculate simple interest and compound interest and the difference in each year, so this will be 1,000 for the first year. Okay, try to learn this. This is very important. Simple interest and compound interest problems could be solved very easily using this concept. So difference is 0. In this case, this will be 1100, this will be 1100. The difference is 100. In this case, again this will be 1000, but this will be 1210. The compound interest. So the difference is 210. This is what given in the question. This is given in the question, and this is given in the question. Okay, these two are given in the question. The difference for second year, the difference for third year. Now check this. If you add total compound interest, this is 3,000. If you add total simple interest, this is 3,000. And if you add total compound interest, this is 3310. So the difference is 310, which is nothing but this value, 310. This is what I did there. Okay, this is what I did there. कि इन दोनों को ऐड करके ओवरऑल डिफरेंस निकलेगा, ओवरऑल 3 इयर्स का डिफरेंस निकलेगा. नाउ चलो इन दोनों को कंपेयर करते हैं. अगर इन दोनों वैल्यू को हम कंपेयर करें, व्हाट वी कैन से 210 इज नथिंग बट 2 into 100 plus 10. And what is 10? Can we write it 2 into 100 plus 10% of 100, right? ये देखो जो थर्ड ईयर का डिफरेंस है, जो थर्ड ईयर का डिफरेंस है कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट में, जो थर्ड ईयर का डिफरेंस है कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट में, वो क्या है? इट्स नथिंग बट ट्वाइस ऑफ सेकेंड ईयर डिफरेंस. ओके, प्लस 10% ऑफ दिस सेकेंड ईयर. ओके, तो जो दो वैल्यू आ रहे हैं, ये अगर x है, ये अगर x है, ये वैल्यू अगर x है, ये वैल्यू पता है क्या होगी हमेशा? ये वैल्यू हमेशा होगी 2x प्लस r% ऑफ x. होगी कि नहीं होगी ये बताओ. सेकेंड ईयर का डिफरेंस अगर x है, थर्ड ईयर का डिफरेंस क्या होगा? 2x प्लस r% ऑफ x. इज दिस नॉट ट्रू? इज दिस नॉट ऑलवेज ट्रू? कैन वी से दिस इज ऑलवेज ट्रू? ओके, Neha, the formula I gave, that was for all 3 years. Okay, yes, this is for third year difference, this is for third year difference. So that's what we can use there. For the second year, it was 1800. For the third year it was 3870. Now you can write this as 2 into 1800 plus 270. Now 270 is nothing but r% of 1800 is equal to 270. You can very easily find out r is equal to 15%. No calculation, no equation, no division. You can do this orally. If you ever see question based on second year difference, third year difference, okay, you can very easily find out the rate of interest. What you need to do, you can just double the difference for the third year, it's 3600. The remaining part 270 should be R% of second year difference. This is how good CI, the compound interest concepts are. Lots of things to understand. Okay, so you get rate is R 15%. From there you can very easily find out principal. Okay, Arnab, everything is written here. Just read this chart. Okay, you will understand what I am saying. For the second year difference is 100. For the third year difference is 210. You can write 210 is equal to this in terms of second year, the difference for second year. You can generalize this. If the difference for second year is x, the difference for third year will be 2x plus R% of x. Okay, other than this one, other than of course the last one that we did, you can also use this one. Okay, I have tried to make it clear for all of you guys that why we had added both the values to find out the difference for total 3 years. All right. आयुष्मान, इनमें याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है, ये समझने की चीज है. दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. दिस इज नॉट अबाउट फॉर्मूला. यहां पे कोई फॉर्मूला यूज नहीं हो रहा है क्या? नहीं. ASCAT, you must be late. I had given the concept what is the difference between second year in compound interest and second year simple interest. It's PR by 100 square. Okay, so the difference is 1800. That's why we have used that. All right, now let's move on to average mixture alligation. Now in case of average, you know that how do we find average? Average is equal to total sum upon number of terms, right? Total sum upon number of terms. The deviation method of average says that if you add same value to each term, the average will also increase with the same value. If you decrease same value to each term, the average will also decrease by the same value. If you multiply each term by the same value, the average will also be multiplied by the same value. So it follows the same process. Now in case of average, this is in case of weighted average. How do we find weighted average? Weighted average is equal to A1 N1 plus A2 N2 divided by N1 plus N2, where N1 and N2 are the frequency, number of terms. Okay, number of terms of two different quantity 1 and 2, and A1 and A2 are averages. So this is how we can find the weighted average of these two quantity, and this is what we use. If you say AW is the weighted average, this is what we use in alligation, that quantity 1, quantity 2, their average is A1, A2 and AW. So A2 minus AW and AW minus A1. By doing this, you can find out the ratio of number of terms in each. Like N1 is to N2 will be equal to A2 minus AW is to AW minus A1. This is how you can use this weighted average concept into alligation. Okay. CI upon RI, Nandan, you can just write down the formula. If you write down the formula of what is compound interest for 2 years, what is simple interest for 2 years, you will get that. See what happens. CI upon SI for 2 years is equal to 2 plus R upon 2. Yahi na? So what is total effective rate of interest for 2 years? It's 2R plus R square upon 100. What is effective rate for simple interest for 2 years, it's 2R. Okay, this is by 100. So if you subtract this, if you divide this by R, you get 2 plus R by 100 upon 2. Easy peasy. This is how you get this. This is how you get this formula, that compound interest upon simple interest ratio for 2 years. This is totally based on effective rate of interest. All right, so this is everything about average lump sum. Okay, now let's try one question based on average, one very good question. Let's try this one. Let's see how many of you get this correct. This question is based on very simple average concept, no fancy method or everything, just basic logic. It says Indrajit and 6 of his friends took a test of 100 marks. Each of them got a different integer score, and the average of their scores was 85. So we can say what will be the total score. So total score of all the 5 person will be 85 into 7, which is 595. Now the score of Indrajit was 88 and it was more than that of exactly 4 of his friends. What could have been the maximum possible absolute difference between the score of 2 of his friends? We need to find the maximum possible absolute difference. Now let's write down the 7 values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's take them in increasing order. Let's take them in increasing order because all of them are distinct. Okay. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. The score of Indrajit is better than 4 of his friends and it's 88. Now if you want to find the maximum difference between these two friends, then you should maximize this score and you should minimize this score, right? What could be the maximum score for this one? Can we say this must be 100? Now I want to minimize this. Can I keep taking the maximum possible value in each case? Can I take this as 99? Okay. Can I take this as 99? Next, what I can take? Can I take them as 87, 86 and 85? Is this possible? Tell me. Is this possible to take 87, 86, 85? If you add all these, what do you get? Tell me. Indrajit and 6 of his friends. So total 7 person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is this possible? These scores are possible or not? Tell me. 1 plus 12, 13 plus 13, 26 plus 14, 40 plus 15. 40 plus 15 is 40 plus 15 is 55. So sum of these six, what will be the sum? 600 minus 45, 600 minus 45, which is equal to 555. Sum of these 6 friends will be 555. So what will be? Is this correct? This will be 545, not 555. This sum will be 545. Okay. Sum of these 6 will be 545. Okay. So now what's left? 595 minus 545 will be equal to 50. So now what values I can put? I must put 50. The minimum value anyone can get must be 50. The maximum is 100. So the maximum difference will be equal to 100 minus 50, which is equal to 50. So answer is option B, not option A, which all of you said, right? यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा फंस गए. So it's a very simple question, but it could be confusing. You can get wrong answer. Gaurav, as we want to minimize this score, किसी को भी एक को मिनिमम करना है तो बाकी को मैक्सिमम रखोगे ना. अगर मैं चाहता हूं a प्लस बी प्लस सी इज इक्वल टू 100, अगर मैं चाहता हूं कि a की मिनिमम वैल्यू क्या लूं तो b और c की मैक्सिमम वैल्यू लूंगा ना, लूंगा कि नहीं लूंगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई if you want to take minimum value of this place, you will have to maximize each one. Now Indrajit got better than 4 friends, so he got 88. So it must be the 4th friend must have gotten at max 87, this friend must have gotten at max 86 and 85. Clear? यूनिक मेंटोर्स मिडिल टर्म्स एवरेज होगा तो मिडिल टर्म क्यों नहीं? अरे भाई वो तब होता है जब नंबर्स एपी में होते हैं. ओके, ऑड नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स हो तो जो एवरेज होगा वो मिडिल टर्म होगा. वो तब होता है जब नंबर्स एपी में हो. आधे अधूरे चीज़ें बड़ी डेंजरस होती हैं भाई, इसलिए चीज़ें अच्छे से सीखनी चाहिए. Shortcuts, we can't take 100 in place of 99. No, because it says all of them got different integer scores. Okay. All right. Raman, we can fix this fifth place as 88. We need to get the maximum possible difference. So we will try to maximize this score and we will try to minimize this score. Maximum anyone can get is 100. As we want to minimize this score, we should take all the values at max possible. So this friend can get 99 maximum because one have already gotten 100. Now anyone third rank, there is Indrajit. So the fourth rank friend must have gotten at max 87. You cannot make it 89 because 4 friends got less than what Indrajit got, right? So that's why 87 and then 86 and 85. These are the maximum marks of all the friends. All these 5 friends we have maximized to get this one minimized. Okay. It says distinct. Okay, now the next question, most of you who are preparing for CAT, most of you must have seen this question, but this is a little upgrade to that question. Okay, थोड़ा सा better question. Okay, चलो तो try करते हैं इस question को. Concept will be same, but let's see how many of you can solve this. This is a very interesting question, very good concept of ratio and average. ओके चलो डिस्कस करते हैं। सारे आंसर्स आ गए, ए बी सी डी सारे ऑप्शन आ गए भाई साहब। इतनी वैरायटी मिल रही है यहाँ पे कि बस पूछो मत। चलो आगे देखते हैं कैसे सॉल्व करना है इसे। थोड़ा सा एक बेसिक यहाँ पे मैं डिस्कस करना चाहूंगा। सम ऑफ फर्स्ट एन नेचुरल नंबर्स लाइक 1 + 2 + 3 अप टू n इज इक्वल टू n इंटू n + 1/2 होता है ना। व्हाट विल बी द एवरेज? So average will be equal to n into n plus 1/2 divided by n which is equal to n plus 1/2। ये है मेरा एवरेज, है ना। ये एवरेज है फर्स्ट n नेचुरल नंबर्स का 1 to n का। अब सोच के देखो कि हमने n में से 2 नंबर निकाल दिए, हमने फर्स्ट n में से 2 नंबर्स निकाल दिए, है ना। टोटल नंबर्स n हैं, तो जो नंबर्स बचे, जो भी सम बचा उसको किससे डिवाइड करोगे ये बताओ। टोटल नंबर्स अगर n है, टोटल नंबर्स अगर n है तो सम डिवाइडेड बाय n - 2 करोगे ना। दिस विल बी द एवरेज। गिवन एवरेज इज इक्वल टू सम अपॉन n - 2। इज दिस राइट? Is this right? This is the given average and this is equal to 34 5/22 which is equal to 34 into 2 78 68 and 68 plus 6 is 74 plus 5 तो 753 upon 22 right? यही है ना? Am I correct? 34 into 2 is 68, add 8 plus or 68 plus 6 74। So this will be our average sum upon n - 2, है ना। ठीक है, अब सोच के देखो जो एवरेज आता है, अब ये वैल्यू या तो ये हो सकती है या फिर ये रहा होगा 1506 upon 44 या फिर ये रहा होगा 225 plus 9 2250 plus 9 so 2259 upon 66 रहा होगा या ऐसा, है ना। अगर ये केस रहा तो इस केस में n आएगा 24, अगर ये केस रहा तो n आएगा 46 और अगर ये केस रहा तो n आएगा 68। बट इन दिस केस, in all these cases, in this case the average will be 24 plus 1/2 which is equal to 12.5। in this case average will be equal to 46 plus 1/2 which is equal to 23.5 and in this case the total average will be equal to 34.5, है ना। अब सोच के देखो कि जो मेरा एवरेज है वो क्या है, 34 के आसपास है। सो कौन सा कॉम्बिनेशन ट्रू है, कौन से नंबर्स n की वैल्यू कौन सी ट्रू है, ये है या ये है या ये है। देखो 5 नंबर का सम अगर 10/3 है 5 है, या लेट्स से 5 नंबर्स का सम या कुछ भी नंबर्स का सम, कुछ वैल्यू डिस्कार्ड भी तो हो सकती है, कोई कॉमन फैक्टर डिस्कार्ड भी तो होके आ सकता है ना। ओके ये भी तो एवरेज है, ये भी एवरेज है, सेम ही वैल्यू तो है, ये रेशियो ही तो है। ओके सेम ही तो है ये, बस हम क्या कर रहे हैं, नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स चेंज कर रहे हैं, उसके अकॉर्डिंग सम चेंज हो रहा है। कौन सी वैल्यू, अगर सोच के देखो देयर आर n नंबर्स, उसमें से तुम 2 निकाल लो, ओवरऑल एवरेज तो आसपास ही रहेगा ना, बहुत ज्यादा तो डेविएट नहीं करेगा ओवरऑल एवरेज। सो तो मेरा बचा हुआ एवरेज है वो 34 5/22 है और जो ओरिजिनल एवरेज था वो 34.5 था। व्हाट वी कैन से अबाउट नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स, व्हाट इज द नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स, इज इट 24, इज इट 46, इज इट 68 और इज इट 90 और सो ऑन। क्यों चेंज कर रहे हैं सारा, बिकॉज वी डोंट नो द नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स, राइट। So number of terms could be 22 or it could be 44 or it could be 66। रेशियो लिख सकते हैं ना, 1/2 को लिख सकते हैं ना 2/4, 3/6, 4/8. Okay, so this will be our number of terms. Actual number of terms will be 68, and if you remove 2 it will be 66. So जो हमारे पास है नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स, ये हमें पता चल गया है कि इनिशियली सम विल बी इक्वल टू 68 numbers. So 68 into 69/2, which is equal to, this is 34 times. Now 70 into 4 is 280, minus 4 is 276, carry 27. 70 into 3, 210, minus 3 will be 207, and carry is, what is our carry? 27. 207 plus 27, 234. This will be our initial sum. Okay, so after removing, okay, final sum is equal to 753 divided by 22 into 66. So this will be equal to 2259. Now what's the difference? If you find out the difference, this will be equal to difference of 13, right? So the difference is 87. हमने दो नंबर रिमूव किए. Think about this. We have removed two numbers. Okay, we have removed two numbers from a page. If you remove two, so those two numbers must be consecutive. अगर एक pages must be consecutive. Pages must be x and x plus 1. So x plus 1 should be equal to 87, or x is equal to 43. So our answer is 43 and 44. See, number of terms निकालना यहाँ बहुत ही जरूरी है कि कैसे हम number of terms निकाल सकते हैं. You can simply think that for the remaining n minus 2 terms, the average is 34. Okay, so number must be close to double of this, which is 68. Okay, so 1 से 10 का सम कितना होता है, एवरेज कितना होता है 5.5. 1 से 20 का एवरेज कितना होता है 10.5, है ना. सो वैसे ही यहां पे अगर ये दिया हुआ है कि बचे हुए नंबर्स का एवरेज 34 5/22 है, सो जो नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स होंगे वो कहां होंगे, वो 34 into 2 विच इज 68 के आसपास होंगे. दो नंबर रिमूव करने के बाद, चूंकि हम डिवाइड कर रहे हैं नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स से, तो डिनोमिनेटर में वो होना चाहिए ऐसा नंबर जो 22 का मल्टीपल है और 68 के आसपास भी है. सो 22 का मल्टीपल 66 है जो 68 के आसपास है. फाइनल सम कैसे आया चिराग? इनिशियली टोटल नंबर्स वाज 68. If you remove two numbers, there will be 66 numbers. Average is given, which is 34 5/22, which is 753/22 into 66. This will be the total sum. Okay. Now this question could be solved using deviation method also. Could be solved very easily. ओके अगर आप लोग इंटरेस्टेड हो तो मैं बता सकता हूं. देखो, एक चीज तो पता करना बहुत जरूरी है कि इनिशियली टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स आर 68 एंड एवरेज इज 34 1/2. ओके, एंड फाइनल टर्म्स are 66 and their average is given, which is equal to 34 5/22. Now because of those two terms that we have removed, this is the difference in this is the deviation in the average. What's the deviation? Deviation is half minus 5/22, which is equal to 22 minus 10, 12/44, which is equal to 3/11. ये डेविएशन है. ये डेविएशन है। अगर दोनों की वैल्यू, दोनों का सम उतना ही होता जितना एवरेज है, मतलब 34.5 इंटू 2, जो 2 पेजेस हमने निकाले हैं, अगर उनका सम इतना होता तो एवरेज में कोई चेंज नहीं होता, बट उनकी वजह से एवरेज में चेंज आ रहा है। क्या चेंज आ रहा है? हर एक से हमने 3/11 ले लिया है। सो 3/11 कितने नंबर? 66 नंबर। दिस इज 6 टाइम्स, सो दिस वैल्यू इज 69 प्लस 18 विच इज इक्वल टू 87। उन दो नंबर का सम 87 है। वन ऑफ देम मस्ट बी 43, वन ऑफ देम अदर मस्ट बी 44। This is how you can solve using deviation, and this deviation method is amazing. You can avoid lots of calculation, finding the total sum, initial sum, final sum. You can totally avoid that. If you know the deviation method, this should be very easy for you. Okay, it's really difficult to learn this method at this time, at instant, but you should try learning that deviation method and then try this question using this method. Okay, किसने इम्प्रोवाइज किया है? राहुल, आई थिंक आई एम द गिल्टी पर्सन, एंड जिस भी कोर्ट में हाजिर होना मैं हाजिर हो जाऊंगा। 68 कैसे आया? 68 के लिए पूरी की पूरी स्लाइड मैंने बताई थी कैसे आया। ठीक है, एवरेज 34/5/22 है, मीन्स 753/22 है बचे हुए नंबर का एवरेज। तो 753/22 कैसे आया होगा? जब नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स 22 होंगे, कैसे निकालते हो एवरेज? व्हेन यू डिवाइड सम अपॉन नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स, राइट? So it's possible that sum of those number is 753 and number of terms is 22. So 753/22. Or it's possible that sum was double and number of terms was also double. So 753 into 2, okay, and 22 into 2. So total sum became 1506 and total number of terms became 44. Or it's also possible that sum was triple, total number of terms was also tripled, and those 3 got cancelled out. Okay, and hence we got that when there are 66 terms, finally when there are 66 terms, if you add 2 more terms, it becomes 68 terms, and sum of first 68 terms, sum of first 68 natural number is 34.5, which is closest to these numbers. In the rest cases, the initial average are far away from previous average, right? So that's why number of terms are 68. No, 2 pages has 2 numbers. There is one leaf have 2 pages. This is known as one leaf. What one thing that is being toned, okay, was leaf. It says here, see, Arjun told a leaf has 2 pages. A staple has 4 pages. Okay, chalo, now let's move on to the next. Let's try one question based on little bit of mixture and alligation. Okay, let's discuss this. Before we move forward, let's discuss one thing, which is how do we find cost price of an item if selling price is given. So cost price is selling price upon 1 plus p%. Okay, this is what we are going to use here. So that's why I have written it down so that you don't have any problem. Now it says two quantities of milk M and N are mixed and then sold at 80 rupees per kg. This is selling price, right? The profit is 17%. So we can find out the cost price here when M and N are mixed in 3:4 ratio and 30% when they are mixed in 4:3 ratio. What is the ratio of the cost prices of M and N? So let cost price of M is equal to M and cost price of N is equal to N. Now, if I use this when they are mixed in 3:4 ratio, let's mix them into 3:4 ratio. So, according to question, when they are mixed in 3:4 ratio, 3M plus 4N divided by M plus N. What do we get here? Tell me. What will this expression give us? Is this selling price of the mixture? Is this cost price of the mixture? What do we get here? By doing this, M and N are cost prices of these milks. So 3 plus 4 upon M plus 3 plus 4, not M plus N. This will be 3 plus 4. So what do we get from this? Is this cost price or selling price? We will get something, right? We will get something here about this mixture. What will be that value? Selling price or cost price? Average cost price, yes, because we are taking the cost prices. So we will get the cost price. What is the selling price? It's 80. What is the profit percent? It's 17%. So it will be 1.17. This is our first equation. And second case, and profit is 30% when they are mixed in 4:3 ratio. So it will be 4M plus 3N divided by 4 plus 3, and this will be equal to 80 upon 1.3. This is our second equation. So now what we can do, what we want M is to N, right? We want M is to N is equal to what? So now let's divide this. Divide 1 by 2. Equation 1 by 2. We get 3M plus 4N divided by 4M plus 3N. This will be equal to this upon this 80 will be cancelled out. This will be 1.3 upon 1.17, and this will be 10 upon 9. Now multiply this. We get 27M plus 36N is equal to 40M plus 30N. Or we get 13M is equal to 6N, or it will be M upon N will be equal to 6 upon 30. That is your answer. So option B is correct. So that's how we get the ratio of cost prices of these two milk qualities. I hope this is clear to everyone, right? ASCAT, how do we take 3 plus 4? How do we find weighted average? Average into number of terms plus second average into number of terms upon sum of terms or their weightage. So this we have taken 3 unit, this we have taken 4 unit, this we have taken 3 kg, this we have taken 4 kg. So 3 plus 4, 7 kg. This will give us total value, total cost price divided by total weight. So this will give us average cost price of first mixture and second mixture. Okay. Chirag, weighted average and allegation are the same things. Okay. Weighted average concept से ही allegation आता है. So this is nothing but allegation only. Okay. Rishabh, as I said, weighted average and allegation are the same thing. We use allegation only when there are three different kind of averages are given. One average, second average, third average. Then you can use allegation. Otherwise, no, you cannot use allegation. If you are thinking weighted average and allegation are completely different things, which they are not, then this question cannot be solved by allegation. This is weighted average. But as I said, it's the same thing. All right. Now let's move on and let's try to solve few questions. Time, speed, distance, the basic. I think all of you are aware that distance is equal to speed into time, right? If there are two objects, okay, in opposite direction, if there are two objects are moving in opposite direction, then their relative speed is equal to s1 plus s2. If they are moving in same direction, then the relative speed is the difference, the absolute difference between these two objects, the absolute difference between the speeds of these two objects, and the time required is equal to distance upon relative speed. This is about little bit about time, speed and distance, just to refresh your concept. Now let's solve a question on time, speed and distance. It's a very basic question. Let's try this one. काम कर लो, यहाँ ये भी पूछ लो कि घर में खाना क्या बना है. ठीक है, 10 से 12 में एप्लीकेशन क्लास कौन सी है, तो ये भी पूछ लो. यू हैव योर ग्रुप वेयर यू कैन सी द इवेंट. इट मस्ट हैव बीन क्रिएटेड बाय नाउ. You can ask that question in your common group, but no, you need to ask that question in here where we are discussing question, right? So you can ask much more important questions. Okay, ki what will happen between Canada and India in 1 week? Okay, what will happen in Lok Sabha 2024 election? You can ask all those type of questions. पढ़ाई बाद में कर लेंगे, छोड़ो. Now this is a very easy question. It says trains A and B are moving towards each other with a speed of 43 km per hour and 47 km per hour. Train A is going with 43 km per hour towards B and B is coming towards A with 47 km per hour. Now it says a wind with a speed of 10 km per hour started blowing in the direction from train A to B which affects the speed of the train by the same value. So we can say it doesn't matter in which direction wind is flowing. In one case, let's say direction of wind is this one. Let's say this is the wind 10 kilometer per hour, and if it affects the speed of train A with x kilometer per hour, and it will decrease the speed of B with x kilometer per hour, still we can say that the relative speed will be equal to sum of these two, 43 plus 47, which is equal to 90 kilometer per hour, because x will be cancelled out. So the relative speed will still be 90 kilometer per hour, which was previously. Now it says they met somewhere. A is here and B is here at some point. What was the distance between them exact 2 minutes before they met? What does that mean? What was the distance? That means, can we say the distance that these two trains will cover in 2 minutes will be the distance between them before 2 minutes, right? वही होगा जो 2 मिनट में जितना डिस्टेंस इन्होंने कवर किया है मिलके, वही डिस्टेंस होगा जो इनके बीच मिलने से 2 मिनट पहले था. सो व्हाट विल बी द डिस्टेंस? स्पीड इनटू टाइम. Time is in minutes, so divide it by 60. 30 times 3. So this is 6 kilometer or 3 kilometer. कुछ लोग क्या लिख रहे थे? B. ये कैंसिल आउट, ठीक है. So this will be 3 kilometer, which is B. So it's a very easy question. Don't go with the language. Okay, this distance is completely irrelevant to this question. The distance given in the question is completely irrelevant. Aditya, yes, in same direction, but these are opposite direction. These are not same direction. Moving towards each other is opposite. Same direction तब होगा जब दोनों same जाएंगे, ऐसे. All right, clear? Chal. Let's solve another question. Let's try this one. Raman, wind speed. You can see we have added wind speed on one train and we have subtracted wind speed on other train. But the relative speed, when you add 43 plus x plus 47 minus x, x will be cancelled out. So the relative speed won't be changing. Relative speed will be same as before. विंड अगर चल रही है तो एक ट्रेन की स्पीड कम करेगी और एक ट्रेन की स्पीड बढ़ाएगी, है ना. सो ओवरऑल जो डिफरेंस होगा वो 0 ही होगा. x से कोई लेना देना नहीं है प्रज्वलित, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है कि x 10 हो यहां पे, ऐसा नहीं है. इफ विंड इज blowing with a speed of 10 km per hour, will it push you with the speed of 10 km per hour? Tell me. If wind is blowing with 20 km per hour, it's not the same thing, right? It could be 10, but we don't need to take 10. Right. A is the correct answer. All of you who got this, very good, very good. That means you have learned solving questions with patience, step by step, and no fancy method and everything. So let's try to understand what is happening here. It says two cities X and Y are 480 kilometers apart. So this is X and this is Y. P leaves X for Y and Q leaves Y for X. So let's take for Q also. X and Y. Now both of them are starting at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Now P covers 1/3 of the distance at a speed of 40 km per hour. So P, this is regarding P. P has covered 1/3, which is 160 km with a speed of 40 km per hour, means he must have taken 4 hours. Half the, and then for Q half the remaining distance as 60 km per hour. So left distance is 320 km, half of that will be 160 km. So 160 upon 60 is 8 by 3 hours. And then the remaining 160 km, he will do it with 80 km per hour, so it will be 2 hours. Now in case of Q, it says Q completes the journey by traveling at 30, 40 and 50 km per hour respectively for equal intervals of time. So basically it says 30t plus 40t plus 50t is equal to 480. From here we get t is equal to 4. So Q is traveling with each speed for 4 hours. So Q is starting from here and he traveled for 4 hours. He traveled for 4 hours with a speed of 30 km per hour. So he must have traveled a total of 120 km. Now see this. This is 12 o'clock. This is 12 noon, where P is at this point. Let's say this point is W, and at 12 noon Q as this point. Let's say this point is Z. Now the distance between these two is equal to, if you check this distance, 120 160 is 280, so this distance is 200 km. Now at this time, speed of P after 12 noon is 60 km per hour. Speed of Q will be 40 km per hour. So the relative speed during this part, P is going with 60 km per hour and Q is going with a speed of 40 km per hour. Now let's check, just for once, let's check in how much time, if they continue with the same speed, in how much time they will meet. So 200 upon 60 plus 40, which is equal to 2 hours. So that means that after 2 hours they will meet if there is no change in their speed. Is it true? Yes. For the next 8 by 3 hours, which is more than 2 hours, speed of P will be same, which is 60 km per hour, and for the next 4 hours speed of Q will be same, which is 40 km per hour. So for these 2 hours, when they are meeting, their speed will be constant. So they will meet somewhere here. When P has also traveled for 2 hours, which means 120 km, Q has also travels for 2 hours, which is 80 km. This is 2 hours and this is also 2 hours. So now we know that the total distance traveled by P will be 160 plus 120. 120 plus 160, which is 280 km from X. This distance will be 280 km. And total time will be 12 noon plus 2 hours, which will be 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. So answer is A. All right. So I hope this solution is understandable to everyone here. If you have any doubt, then let me know. Clear? All right. So guys, as you know, Monday onwards we are going to start our crash course in full flow. Okay, we are going to have proper session, proper concept and proper questions on that, totally CAT level questions. Okay, so that nobody would have to ask that, sir, is this a CAT level question? And we are going to focus completely on the methods which will save your time, which will increase your efficiency. Okay, so you can, if you are looking to crack CAT this year, okay, you can simply join us. Let us help you, helping yourself in the best way possible. Next 2 months is going to be a roller coaster totally. Okay, full practice 7 to 9 p.m. live classes at least 4 days a week. It could be 5 days, it could be 6 days also, and application classes 10 to 12 every day. Okay, you are going to have 100 hours, okay, in each section, and then in the end we are going to have marathon classes which will go from 4 to 5 hours. Okay, and all the features of crash course you can see here. Apart from that, you will also get exclusive material which has at least 5,000 students. You can confirm that from any iQuanta students. Those materials are fantastic. We have created those materials this whole year and last year just to make them best in the market. Okay, so again, let us help you. If you have not enrolled in crash course, join us. Okay, fees is minimal in the market and nothing compared to what you can achieve from that. So I hope your session was fruitful today. Okay, you learned something, and अगर कहीं पे थोड़ी बहुत difficulty आई समझने में, this video will be available always. Okay, and I'm sure iQuanta students must have enjoyed this session because सारे concept उनके किए हुए थे, and तब भी उनको थोड़ा बहुत चैलेंजिंग लगे होंगे क्वेश्चन, है ना? क्या कहते हो? मज़ा आया आज की क्लास में iQuanta स्टूडेंट्स? कैसा लगा? आई थिंक कॉन्सेप्ट तो सारे किए हुए होंगे, बट जो उनका यूज है वो कंप्लीटली रिफ्रेश हो गया होगा माइंड में, है ना? सो दिस इज व्हाट वी विल डू ड्यूरिंग होल एप्लीकेशन क्लास, होल लाइव क्लास. एवरी डे विल बी अमेजिंग. ओके, सो सी यू गाइस ऑन मंडे. चलो, ओके, बाय बाय, गुड नाइट. सारा क्रैश कोर्स का एप्लीकेशन क्लास 10 to 12 PM होगा एवरी डे एक्सेप्ट संडे. क्वेश्चन कंप्लीटली न्यू थे, तो यही तो चैलेंज है, इसे में तो मज़ा आता है. अगर देखे हुए हो सारे तो फिर क्या ही मज़ा है. अमन, लास्ट बैच की क्लास मंडे को है और कल तो होगी, कल और परसों भी होगी। Okay guys, see you tomorrow with LRDI session. Bye bye.